Columbia Workshop presents In the Train, an Irish play for radio by Hugh Hunt, adapted from a short story by Frank O'Connor. The scene, a railway station in Dublin. It is night, and the excited chatter of the passengers comes to us over the rattle of milk cans being loaded on the waiting train.
Chocolate, cigarettes, chocolate, cigarettes. Do you want a paper for the train, sir?
What paper is it? What way would I be wanting a paper, and I'm born in me great loss this night?
Is it a wake you're coming from?
It is not then, but I parted from my best friend this very night. Michael O'Leary, the best friend I ever had.
Porter, have I time for a cup of tea before the train goes?
The best friend I ever had, Michael O'Leary, was the best friend I ever had, and I've never seen like that.
This way, Sergeant. This way, ma'am. There's plenty of empty compartments along here. Now, with this carriage suit you now, Sergeant?
It would do very nicely indeed. Will this do you all right, Julietta?
I suppose it's as good as any other on this awful train.
Well, sit yourself down now beside the window and take your ease.
Jonathan, please tell that man to put my hat box on the seat. You know I don't want it crushed.
Ah, there you are, madam. As comfortable as if you were riding in the Lord Mayor's coach.
Well, here's a shilling for you. Maybe you slip around and drink the wife's health, huh?
Oh, I will indeed, Sergeant. Thank you. And good night to you, man. Good night.
I hope no one else comes in. But, of course, they will.
It is pleasant sometimes to have company on a journey.
Well, I won't have any of your police or any of those awful witnesses. I'll tell you that now.
Yeah, well, let's see what's in the paper here. You know, we're not a bit too soon getting here. It's 23 minutes to.
And I would have had heaps of time to get that other hat at Cleary's. Heaps of time.
Well, I always like to be in time for a train.
It's always the same. No thought for anyone, only yourself.
Oh, dear me.
I never had a name, but it's trying.
Michael O'Leary, the best friend I ever had.
Chocolate, cigarettes, chocolate.
Oh, dear Dublin. I always want to cry when the train stops. Ah, how long will it be before I see it again?
A long while, I suppose.
3 short days. And now back to that old hole, Farncreast.
Well, it was a pleasant little change for you.
Change? Well, do you think I like for having my name mixed up in a murder trial? After all, I have friends in Dublin, you know.
Oh, no, my dear. No one thought you were mixed up in it.
Maybe they didn't, Jonathan. But all the same, why, the papers were full of it. But it was like heaven to be back in Dublin. Just to look down from the hotel windows and see men in real evening dress. I thought the prosecutor... Oh, what was his name?
Mr. Boyle.
Yes, Mr. Boyle. Oh, he'd a wonderful face. And his voice, it went right through me. Oh, if only we hadn't been engaged in this awful business. Oh, that terrible woman, standing there in the dock, staring, just staring. Sometimes I couldn't sleep at night after seeing her.
Yeah, she was a bit scared, so she was.
Scared? Rubbish. She enjoyed it. I really believe she was proud of having murdered her poor, unfortunate husband, the brazen hussy. Why wasn't she convicted? That's what I want to know.
Well, it's hard to say which way the law will take. If 'tis hard on some, 'tis easy on others, and that's the way of it.
Jonathan, here she is. Quick, don't let her come in here. If she comes in here, I'll...
Is it this carriage that goes to Farncreast? Oh, 'tis that I didn't see her, Tom.
Well, I'll be blowed.
Fancy her coming back on the same train as us. Well, you'd think she'd felt some shame. I nearly fainted.
Well, then again, why wouldn't she? There's no one could tell her to stop now. She's free now to come and go as she pleases, by the mercy of God.
Oh, I suppose you're going to say that she never killed her husband at all.
Well, in the eyes of the law, she's an innocent woman.
Oh, if it were anywhere else except Farncreast, this never would have happened. Never. And the country people that you brought up as witnesses. Why, they're as bad as that one, with all the lies they told him, of course.
The people in Farncreast have a great distaste for the law.
Excuse me, officers. Excuse me, ladies. At my own door, there's a coffin couple, and I can't get into my compartment, so I thought I'd come and tell you about my old friend, Michael O'Leary.
Well,
It's pardon from him I have this very
Jonathan,
time.
do I have to endure this?
Now, move along like a decent man. The wife has a headache.
Oh, certainly, officer, certainly. I beg your pardon, ma'am, dear. I want you to know about Michael, the best friend I have. The best friend.
Well, now, really, that's too much. It's too much. Well, why didn't you put him out sooner?
Chocolate, cigarettes, final,
Oh, nobody has any consideration for my feelings, I suppose. I'm sure I shall have a nervous breakdown after all this. Yesterday I cried all the day.
Oh, no, you bore up grand, thanks be to heaven. And when you get back to Farncrease, you'll be a different person.
Farncrease? I have no life at all there. No one to speak to all day, and nowhere to go. Nothing to look at but bogs and mountains and rain. Nothing but rain. Oh, here come your precious policemen, Magner and the other two. Well, I hope they've sense enough not to come in here. I couldn't bear to listen to them for the next 4 hours.
We'll be joining us later for a glass, Sergeant. We'll be up the far end.
I wouldn't like to leave the wife alone.
Oh, don't mind me, please.
Did you see Erosine and Mulmore and the other folk?
I did not, then. They'll have to be hurrying. Do you know who's on the train?
No. Who?
Well, you'll not believe it till you see her face. Helena Maguire herself. Why, she walked in here not 2 minutes ago as cool as a cucumber.
Aye, 'tis strange how cool some can take it. But that one would fest the world. Come along now, Magner, if it's a quiet seat you want. And what happened to the lamp?
Well, they might have managed to say good evening to me.
They hadn't much time to get themselves settled.
And what did Delancey mean by passing me by like that without even speaking to us? I don't think I'll ask him to tea again. The others make some attempt. But really, Delancey is hopeless.
Oh, Delancey, he's a poor slob.
Oh, yes. But that's not enough, Jonathan. Slob or no slob, he should make an attempt. He's a young man. He should have a dinner jacket at least. What sort of a wife will he get if he won't even wear a dinner jacket?
He's easy, I'd say. He's after a farm in Waterford.
Oh, a farm. A farm. The wife is only an incidental, I suppose.
Well, no, from all I hear, she's a nice little incidental.
Yes, I suppose many a nice little incidental came from a farm. Oh, here come the neighbors. I hope they realize what sort of figures they cut. Not one of the women has a hat.
Up the far end. This less goes up there.
Mind that stick of yours. You near had me eye on.
Hurry up, Moll. Hurry up or you'll be missing it yet.
Oh, he doesn't miss me. Good evening, sir. Good evening. How's the world, kids?
Good evening, Well, for the future, I shall certainly cut that woman, Moll Moore.
Ah, poor old Moll Moore. She has a big heart.
She's a scandalous liar, a brazen liar.
Oh, the poor soul. She means well.
She contradicted you in the most outrageous fashion in the court. Jonathan, in future, you're not to recognize that woman when you see her.
Is it in a place like Farncrease where you couldn't refuse to salute an old cow?
Oh, there it is. There it is. No social distinctions. No principles. Oh, I can feel it enveloping me already. That awful place. Oh, I really can't bear it any longer.
Well, no, maybe as soon as we get back, we'll get a shift to somewhere else. Oh, no, don't cry. Ah, that's the good girl.
It's too much.
Oh, wish not, wish.
This is too much.
Begad, we're off. 4 minutes late.
Possibly beat Michael O'Leary. I bet on my life for Michael O'Leary.
I sometimes wonder if I can put up with it any longer. Oh, I'm afraid I'm not used to such surroundings. My father was an educated man, you see. But culture doesn't exist in Farncrease. It simply doesn't exist.
No one to speak to and nowhere to go. No life at all. Buried down there. Nothing to look at but mountains and bogs. Nothing but rain. Criminals too. Don't think I'll ask Delancey to see. Sloud or no sloud. Make an attempt. What sort of wife will he get if he won't? What sort of wife? Get if he won't. Give the jacket, 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 give the jacket.
Poor old Delancey. He's cracked on the sergeant's wife. Oh, did you see the eye he gave her as we were passing herself and the sergeant?
Oh, I am. Cracked on her. The devil admire me. I never hated anyone yet, but I think I hate the living sight of her.
Oh, no. Oh, no, don't you spend the time catching invitations to tea.
I don't want her old tea. I never ask for old tea. I can get better tea at the barracks. But what can I do when she knows where I am every hour of the day? And when she's tired of persecuting the sergeant, she's only to send across the road for me.
Well, indeed, I don't know how the sergeant puts up with that same damsel. She'll never rest till she's out of Farncrease. And the sergeant along with her. I'd be sorry for that. He's a real nice man and very friendly to the place.
It's the city life she wants.
And how do you like the city yourself, Dad?
Oh, man, dear, I'd like it fine. There's great life in the city.
You can have it and welcome.
Why so?
I'm well content where I am.
I don't know. There must be a great charm about the criminal courts.
Much charm they had for you when you were up in the witness box.
Oh, I know, sure, I know.
Shutting your eyes like a kid afraid he was going to get a clip on the ear.
Is this my carriage, gentlemen?
No, it is not. Go on with you.
I had as nice a carriage as ever was put on a railway train. A handsome carriage. And 'tis lost.
Try further up.
Excuse me interrupting your conversation, gentlemen.
That's all right now. Go on with you.
I'm very melancholy, gentlemen. My best friend, Michael O'Leary. I parted with him this very night, and 'tis known to no one if I'll ever lay eyes on him again in this world. Oh, good night, gentlemen. Good night, and thank you. Thank you for all your kindnesses. Oh,
Still, I admit Delancey wasn't the only one had the wind up when he stepped in the box.
He was not. Even the sergeant was shook. When he picked up the mug with that bit of poison in it, he was trembling all over. And before he could put it down, it danced a jig on the table.
Well, there was something queer came over me when that long, lean lawyer fella, with the wig, started rattling his questions at me. 'Twas that had me muddled. Only for that, I'd have been all right.
Well, this time tomorrow night, I'll be sitting in Ned Ivor's pub with a pint in my fist. And by the same token, Dan, did you bring the drink with you?
I did then.
Hand it over to me. Ah, 'tis poor stuff, only you'd get in the city.
'Tis little good is in it. I wonder now what came over that same Helena Maguire to rise up and kill her husband.
Maybe it was on account of the drink he'd take. He was a hard man, I'm told, when he'd drink taken.
And his father the same.
I wouldn't say that, no. I'd say there was another man in it, maybe.
Oh? A man? How so?
There was a young fella from the Black Glen she had her heart set upon. Very often I'd meet them down by the river before her father wed her over to Seamus. Very great they were together.
Maybe 'twas that she was thinking of.
Here's the sergeant coming now. We'll ask him.
He wasn't long getting tired of his Julietta.
Well, lads, what about a glass or something, huh?
Isn't that remarkable now? I was only mentioning the subject when you came in.
I've noticed before, Foley, that you and I have what might be called a simultaneous thirst.
How's the wife, Sergeant?
Well, now, she's bearing up well, thank you. Though it was a bit of a shock to her seeing that same Helena Maguire in the train.
We were just running our minds back over the trial, Sergeant, when you came along. Would you say it was on account of the drink that she did it?
Well, it might, and then again, it might not.
Or would you say it was the great desire she had for Katie Driscoll?
Well, it maybe was.
A fine-spirited woman she must be to have done the like of that.
Aye, and never let on to a thing the time she stood up to face the judge.
She bested the lot of us. There wasn't one of us that didn't feel the strain when we stood up in the court, but she never let a quiver out of her.
'Twas a remarkable case.
I mind well the sort of dull look she had when we came to take her off to the barracks.
The same look that she had in the court.
Oh, that old court. I'll never forget that.
The questions they asked.
And the answers we gave.
It was a strange case.
Took a statement from accused.
I did my life.
She seemed depressed and quite bemused.
He did my life.
Friday night at 10:30 in Ivor's pub to seize the liquor taken then.
He had my life.
The conduct that the guards displayed.
Exemplary. I'll see your lordship's words conveyed.
Immediately.
The evidence I shall give this court.
And nothing but.
Depressed, bemused, and overwrought, and nothing but.
The truth.
And nothing but.
The whole truth.
And nothing but, and nothing but. And
Accused.
nothing but, and nothing but. Your lordship. Nothing but, and nothing but.
Where are we? Aren't we home yet?
No, won't be. What's troubling you to get home so soon?
Me little house.
Me little hat. I suppose it wasn't enough for you to board up the windows and put barbed wire on the old bit of a gate before you left.
'Tis all well for you that have someone to mind yours for you. And what are you laughing at, ma'am?
Does that same have me laughing? To think of me own helpless idiot of a man this week past at the stirabout pot.
Aye, and making the bed.
And washing the children's face.
Aye, and his chickens running off with Tady Candillon's barley.
My barley, is it? 'Tis better barley that was ever garnered than your old pigsty of a farm.
Oh, there's a thing to say. Isn't it a great pity for me this week past, and I looking at an old scarecrow the like of you, instead of me own fine bouncing man?
Kathleen, my boy, is the great one. She's not here.
Who's not here, mister?
I'm looking for my own carriage, ma'am, and whatever they done with it is lost. The railways in this country have gone to...
Richard, there's nothing else that's troubling you. Wouldn't you sit here down along with myself?
Well, I would with great pleasure, ma'am, with great pleasure. But 'tis only the carriage.
Oh?
'Tis me travelling companion. I'm a lonely man. I parted with my best friend this very night. I found one to console me, and when I turned me back, she was gone.
Oh, so it's a female person that's after consoling you.
It was indeed, ma'am. A female person with a beautiful face. A sad female person.
And what sort was she?
I don't know, ma'am. I don't know. From Farron Christ she came with a beautiful name. Helena Maguire, she called herself. I must find her, ma'am, if I have to search the whole train. Oh, Kathleen.
So herself is on the train, is she?
Isn't it a great impudence in her to come back?
Isn't it now?
She won't be there long.
You'll give her the hunt, I suppose.
If no one else do, I'll give her the hunt myself.
And still, Tady Kindillan, you swore black was white to save her neck.
I did, of course. What else would I do, Malmore? There was never an informer in my family.
What else would we do? Isn't she one of ourselves?
And great disgrace upon the village if they'd hanged her by the neck.
We told our story, the lot of us, and we told it well.
We did indeed.
And nobody told it better than Malmore.
Do you think to hear her she believed it herself?
The Lord knows I nearly did.
Did anyone ever think the day would come when a woman in our parish would do the like of that?
Never, never a month.
She might do it for land.
Or for money.
Maybe for money.
When the hunger was land, people killed for land. When the hunger was money, people killed for money.
In my young days, if you killed a man, there was great reason in it. But what are they killing for now?
The people aren't wild as they were.
Nor as poor as they were.
Nor as strong as they were.
There's a great change coming. A great change.
In the ears of the world, people are asking for more. Be the talking, here's the police.
Oh, come on in, Sergeant, come on in. Come on in, the whole bunch of you, and set me free from the dismal talk that's in it.
Well, we were lonely without you.
Oh, were you?
You're the biggest and brazenest and cleverest liar of the lot. But I'll forgive you everything if you give me one sup from the bottle of liquor you have hid there under your shawl.
Well, I hope there's none of that same illegal poteen you have there, Moll.
Oh, Sergeant, and you think I drink that stuff?
Did you ever drink anything else? There'll be one good day's work done in Farron Creek on the head of this trial.
And how so?
Dan Moore will make a great brew of poteen when our backs were turned.
I'll get that husband of yours yet, Moll.
Sit down, the lot of you. Sit down. It's too much fun.
Well, me old peacock, how did you manage it at all? Moll, it was a wonderful story you told, and Helena Maguire should be down on her knees offering up prayers for you this night.
Sure, you fooled us, right enough.
You fooled yourselves better.
Well, there'll be great talk now when we get back to Farron Creek.
Well, I'll be well pleased to be back. I've no great graw for city life myself.
No life for a man.
Listen to the rain leave you. We'll have a wet walk home.
'Twould be midnight before we'd be there.
Sure, the whole countryside will be up.
'Twould be like daylight with all the talk they'll be there.
There'll be no sleep in Farron Creek tonight.
Oh, Farron Creek and the sky over you. I wouldn't change places with the Queen of England this night.
Oh, to be back in Farron Creek. The lights in the windows, the heart of the fire, the mist on the meadows, the cow in the fire, the black in the turf, the whitewashed wall, the humpback mountain, overall, and Nelly Byrne and Molly Burt, Art and Sean and Seamus Quirk will all be there to welcome us to Farron Creek. Welcome us to Farron Creek.
Kathleen, morning, great I'm a lonely man, and now I'm going back to my lonely habitation. The best friend I left behind me, Michael O'Leary. 'Tis a great pity you don't know Michael, and a great pity Michael don't know you. But look at the misfortunate way a thing will happen. I was looking for someone to console me, and the moment I turned my back, you were gone. Oh, Kathleen, But Carrie Day, this is where I go to. This is where I get out. Oh, this is the end of a beautiful friendship, Helena, if you will permit me to call you that. You have a beautiful face. A beautiful face. But what's more important, you have a beautiful soul. I look into your eyes and I see the beauty of your nature. Allow me one favor. Only one favor before we part.
What is it you be wanting, mister?
A kiss, ma'am. A kiss on your beautiful, sad face. Kathleen, my darling, the great
kiss on my beautiful, sad face.
Going back.
Where to?
Where to?
Nothing left.
Nothing.
Come on, me dear, the jury's back. Come on now, come on.
Oh, Mary, Mother,
Faces.
help me now.
Silence!
The verdict of the jury is
Oh, Mary, Mother,
that Helena McGuire is...
oh, Mary, Mother.
Not guilty. Men.
Black. White.
Doors.
Eight.
Turn light.
Her? That. The one in the shawl.
Kill her man.
Then set her free. She's going back.
Oh,
Going back.
going back.
Where to?
Where to?
Nothing left.
Helena, they're all up in the train. Wouldn't you come now and join us?
No.
Tis that they're asking for you.
I couldn't now.
Oh, why couldn't you? Who are you minding? Is it the police?
I'll stop where I am.
Here now, take a sip of this, and it'll put new heart into you.
Thank you kindly.
Wait till I tell you what Magner said. That fellow's a limb of the devil. Have you heard a drop, Moll, says he. Maybe I have then, says I. What is it, says he. What do you think, says I. Oh, for the love of heaven, says he. Baptize it quick and call it whiskey. Oh, they're coming along themselves. Here, give me that bottle. Twouldn't do at all for the sergeant to see that stuff. Will you look at that fella Magner? Oh, he's taken a drop too much right enough.
Helena, accept my congratulations. We'll get you the next time, though.
Masha, what are you saying, mister?
Not a word. Not a word. You're a clever woman, a remarkable woman, and I'll give you full credit for it. You threw dust in all our eyes.
Poison is hard to come by and easy to trace. But it beat me to trace where you got it from that time.
Well, there's things they're saying about me.
You're safe now. As safe as a judge on the bench. Last night, when the jury came out with a verdict, you could have stood up and said, "You're wrong, I did it. I got the stuff at such and such a place. I did it and I'm proud of it." You could have said every word of that, and no one would have dared to lay a hand on you.
Indeed, what a thing I'd say.
Well, you could.
The law is a truly remarkable phenomenon. Here you are, sitting at your ease at the expense of the state, and for one little word of a couple of letters, you could be lying in the body of the jail, waiting for the rope and the morning jaunt.
Please, don't talk that way, mister.
Well, it was the holy will of God.
It was all the bloody lies Malmore told.
With all the blasted fools you made of yourselves in the witness box.
And now, Helena, since 'tis all over and past, maybe you'll tell us what came over you to do a thing the like of that.
Was it for the land you did it?
Or the money.
Was it because he was old and dirty and cantankerous and a miser the way they said he was?
Or maybe on account of the way he beat you when he'd the drink taken. Or what made you do it?
We know different from that, don't we, Helena? Well, there'll be one happy man in Farrencreech tonight.
No, Magno, don't be making mischief.
One happy man. 'Tis his turn
Go
now.
on now, man, you're drunk.
You wanted him, didn't you? Your people wouldn't let you have him, but you'll have him at last in spite of them all.
Do you mean Katie Driscoll?
You know rightly who I mean.
I'll tell you nothing.
She's a close woman, and she's right, surely.
Well, however it is, they'll be right welcome before you when you get back home. 'Tis you'll be the interesting woman, and the people wondering how you came to do it at all. You'll have all that you want.
I'm not wanting anything at all.
Is that a new blouse you have on?
I seen it last night in a shop in the Keys. A shop on the way down from the court. Is it nice?
It is a fine colour. How much did it cost you?
Is that all you were thinking of? You should have been on your bended knees before the altar.
I was, too.
Women.
Well, we'll be in a couple of minutes. I'd best be getting along to the wife. Well, good night to you, ma'am. And I'm glad for all our sakes things turned out the way they did.
Good night.
I pity him. There'll be a scolding for that poor man when he gets back to his mate.
Give us another sup from that bottle, Mom.
That's enough now. You've had enough for the night.
And for why would you be buying a new blouse?
We're just coming in.
Can you see, is there any of the boys on the platform?
There's a great crowd, surely.
Can you catch a glimpse of my man, Dan?
Isn't that him beyond under that lamp?
Move over, can't you, the way he'll see me wave.
There's me bald Seamus Quirk.
Do you see old man Sean behind him?
Where?
Look behind it, Nellie, a couple of girls. Now, who'd have thought she'd come down to meet me?
Didn't she crack on you, God?
Come on, lads, quick! That Ivor's keeping his back parlour open.
Did you hear that, Foley? Come on.
Is there ever a sign of Paddy Dillon, or did the old rascal die up in Dublin?
I'm here. If you leave me, get out.
Really, Jonathan, how disgusting. I always hated crowds.
Dan, is that you, Dan?
Who else would it be? Am I changed me visit? But no, that old
Fine, please, I can't stand. Like such awful people.
Hurry on now, unless you don't be standing around gossiping. Come on now, miss, unless you want to be left behind the train.
Please, mister, did you see Cary Driscoll here tonight?
Sure, and how would I be saying him? Didn't he leave for America yesterday?
Did you ever see such rain?
The river will likely be flooded.
We best walk round by the road.
He's no more to me now than the salt sea.
More to me than the salt sea, than the salt sea.
You have been listening to the Columbia Workshop's presentation of In the Train, a radio play by Hugh Hunt, adapted from a short story by Frank O'Connor. The music was composed by Bernard Herrmann, and the entire production was under the direction of Brewster Morgan. Next week, at this same time, the Columbia Workshop will present an original play for radio called A Letter from Home by Charles R. Jackson. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.